Greetings, fans, and welcome to tonight's Broncos Broadcasting Network Girls Soccer Contest between the 10-2-1 Davenport Broncos and the 6-7-1 Fort Meade Miners. I'm John Shigaris, and thank you for joining us tonight. The Broncos are looking to stop their biggest slide of the season after losing 2 of their last 3 games. The Broncos were last in action on Friday night in a number 1 versus number 2 matchup when they faced the 4A District 7 divisional leader, Horizon Hawks, and were shut out by a score of 6-0. Elena Rudnick did look strong in goal, collecting 14 saves in the losing effort. The Miners are on a skid of their own, having lost 3 of their last 4 games and having been outscored 5-2 during that stretch, most recently falling to Winter Haven by a score of 4-1 last Friday. Going against common opponents, the Broncos are 4-1-1. They had a tie against Victory Christian Academy by a score of 1-1, defeated Lake Region 5-0, Mulberry 8-0, Haines City 7-1, before falling to Lakeland 3-0, and defeating Santa Fe Catholic last week by a score of 5-0. Against common opponents, the Miners are 3-3. They defeated Haines City 8-1, Lake Region 3-0, before falling to Lakeland 4-1. They beat Santa Fe Catholic 4-1, before falling to Victory Christian Academy 1-0 and Ridge 9-1. The Broncos are welcoming Ridge Community Bolts tomorrow night. Coverage begins on the Broncos Broadcasting Network at 5:30, with a special Title IX celebration which will air at 5:45. As we look around the 4A Division 7 Divisional Series standings, by percentage points, Horizon is in first place with their 9-1 record. Davenport is in second place with a 10-2-1 record. McKeel Academy is at third at 6-6-2. Mulberry is in fourth with 5-6-1. Lake Buena Vista is at 6-10-1. And then finally, Lake Region at 2-7-2 for Lake Region. Tenor Rock is in last place, currently at 1-11-1. As we take the Miners from Fort Meade, they play in the 3A District 9 division, a division currently led by Lake Placid at 10-2-1. Cardinal Mooney is in second place with a 6-6-1 record. Fort Meade is in third by percentage points with a 6-7-1 record. Avon Park is in fourth with a 4-8-2 record. And finally, Frostproof wraps up the division with an 0-11-2 record. In local action tonight, a game that kicked off an hour ago, Lake Buena Vista takes on Dr. Phillips. Games that'll kick off in just a few moments. We have McKeel Academy hosting Shorecrest Prep, Tenor Rock hosting South Sumter, and Horizon hosting West Orange. We'll go ahead. We will take a quick break here. When we come back, it'll be kickoff time here on the Broncos Broadcasting Network. And we are back here on the Broncos Broadcasting Network. We are just a few moments away from kickoff. Let's take a look at this week's Broncos Broadcasting Network broadcast schedule. Currently going on at the gym, you have the girls basketball team going against Ridge. That game began at 6 o'clock. You can catch that game live over on the NFHS network, which you can go ahead and you can catch any home and away games for the Broncos on that network. The girls soccer game against Fort Meade will be kicking off momentarily. Tomorrow night, girls soccer will host Ridge at 6 o'clock. That will be live here on the Broncos Broadcasting Network. And you also have a special Title IX celebration. That ceremony is going to kick off at 5:45 p.m., 15 minutes before kickoff. Boys basketball also has games tomorrow night. You have junior varsity at 6:30, varsity at 8 o'clock. Both of those games are going to air on the NFHS network. On Thursday night, boys basketball will go ahead. They will also have another game. That game will be at 6:30 for JV, varsity at 8 o'clock. That game is also exclusive to the NFHS network. And then on Friday, we are back here on the soccer pitch as boys soccer takes on Tenor Rock at 7 o'clock. That game will be here on the Broncos Broadcasting Network and will also air on the NFHS network. And we kicked off and we are underway. So a chillier night than we have had recently. Doesn't seem to be any wind though, which is going to help both teams out as recently there has been a ton of wind. Game time temperature on the field, 57 degrees, feels like 60 degrees. And we are waiting for our clock to begin ticking down as our action is going on that far sideline. Broncos trying to take advantage, coming off of a loss this past Friday night in the 1-2 matchup going against Horizon. That one's going to go out of bounds on the near sideline, and Fort Meade will be throwing it in. Broncos quickly trying to recover, coming down that near sideline, again going out of bounds. So the Broncos tonight are probably going to look to try to bounce back early, try to get an early goal on the board, try to get some momentum going back their way. As mentioned in the opening, they have now dropped 2 of their last 3 games. Those are the only 2 losses the Broncos have on the season. So definitely not used to having losses in their scoring column. And for the Broncos, Roxana Valadares is back in the net for them. The last few nights, Rudnick has looked incredible in that net. Again, taking a look at that game on Friday, saving 14 of the 20 shots that came her way. Broncos having to try to make their way back to stop the possession. Excellent defensive effort there, clearing the ball toward midfield. So Broncos defense definitely stepping up early, but being challenged by the Miners. Miners on another press. That's going to be a shot, and that one is going to find the back of the net, and just like that, the Miners are going to go up by a score of 1-0. That goal was on number 16, Audrey Slater. That is going to be her first goal of the game. So the Broncos are now starting to make their way down this near sideline. That one's going to be caught by the keeper for the Miners. Definitely not the way the Broncos wanted to start this game off. Booming kick toward midfield. And the Miners are coming down again, this time on a 3-on-3 advantage. And again, trying to pressure up that zone. Broncos defense able to stop it for the moment. Broncos now starting to come upfield. They do not have numbers. But still fighting their way in is Angie, trying to get it in Helder on that near sideline that's going to be kicked out of bounds by the Miners. So Broncos looking for their first scoring threat as we go under 37:20 to go here in the opening half. Miners leading this one by a score of 1-0. Broncos perfect throwing before it's going to be kicked out toward the Miners, and they're going to kick that ball upfield. Miners pass upfield, midfield, but the Broncos are able to kick it back toward their own end, looking to answer back, currently down 1-0. Pass from Helder goes a little far, but she gets it on that near sideline, looking for a centering pass before Fort Meade takes it back. So Fort Meade is out hustling the Broncos at this point. We'll see should that continue as this game goes on. Excellent move by Perez as she makes her way up this near sideline. 3-on-3, great block by the Broncos. Definitely a defensive effort they needed right then. 36:15 to go here in the opening half. Miners again starting to make their way down, this time on the far sideline. Another centering pass and a breakaway taken away by the Broncos, able to nip that scoring opportunity away. Again, Fort Meade with another opportunity. Centering pass is going to be taken away by the Broncos, but Fort Meade, top of the box, that one's going to be shot and taking toward the right-hand side of the net, and that'll go out of bounds as we approach 35.5 minutes to go here in the opening half. Miners leading the Broncos by a score of 1-0. As Valadares looked like she was going to kick it in, but instead gives it away. Sammy Sharp kicks it up field for the Broncos. Broncos facing immense pressure as there will be a whistle on that play. 35 minutes to go.